Welcome to Rebuilding Masculinity. This is your host, Prince, and today we are going to talk about men with money incognito. Here we are in 2026, and there is a lot of different economical pressures that's taking place in society now. A lot of volatility in the stock market. Stocks are going up and down. Some sectors are booming, some sectors are not. Real estate is going up and down in a lot of different states. A lot of different things are taking place. And a lot of pretending is starting to slow down. And what do I mean by that? Well, there was a very short period or a very short time ago. You used to would go on YouTube and you would see all of these guys driving McLarens, Lamborghinis, just various different cars. And I remember, I won't mention the YouTuber's name, but there was a YouTuber in New Jersey that liked the Hellcat brand, so to speak. And they decided to get one of these Dodge products. And I remember the YouTuber's channel was very, very good. They actually did put out good content. I actually enjoyed it. But the YouTuber actually eventually came out and said, well, hey, I cannot continue to keep this car because it just does not make financial sense. And I've seen this happen across different channels. I've seen even people in person or in my personal life where they've bought something and they're like, man, I don't know how long I can keep this along with me. And a lot of times people don't think that, hey, what's going on now will affect me. How I pivot is according to my knowledge and according to how I move. Do I have a strategy? And a lot of various different things. Am I going to thrive or am I going to just survive? So, a lot of men, high earning men, I would say, men that are earning well above the average, your man, maybe making between 40 and $50,000. You have most of the guys that are making over 100K, and even those making over 150. A lot of those guys are incognito. That you see them, you wouldn't even know that they make that type of money. Because the smart guys are investing their money. The smart guys are putting their money to work. One of the best feelings, and some of you guys, gals, can relate, is when you buy a stock that pays a dividend and you first have your first maybe $20 from a dividend that's paid from a stock. You start getting you get excited. She's like, man, the stock, especially if that stock went up. So you just got appreciation of the stock and you just got paid a dividend. And it kind of starts helping mold your mind, develop your mind. You start getting excited. It's the same thing even when you get your first property and you make your first couple $100. You get excited, especially if nothing goes wrong that month and no repairs and nothing is needed. You get excited. It puts that fire in you. It puts that battery in your back, and you start, oh man, I want to invest. I want to do this. Men that have money are going into incognito. They are hiding. They are not showing their wealth. A lot of guys that I've seen that drive fancy cars, and you do have some guys that they just what they like, and they still have money. But there's a lot of guys of different races that are driving older cars, that are living in average houses, and they're millionaires. They're deca millionaires. And you would never, ever expect it. You would look at this guy and say, man, there's no way this guy's a deca millionaire. Well, he got there because he was smart. He didn't get there because he was dumb and he was trying to prove something to anybody. See, once you get to a certain stage in your life, economically, where you don't have to prove anything to anyone, that is the best point of your life to be at. And I hear a lot of women talking about how they're looking for men that make this amount, men that make six figures, men that make a high six figures, or whatever the case might be, even men that make seven figures. A lot of times, those men are at the beaches. Those men are at country clubs. Some of those men are at for volunteering with the community. Some of those men are at your basic gyms. And these women, you looking at like, man, well, if I see one pull up in this, then he got money. But there's a lot of millionaires walking around that got money, and you would never know it. See, the things, just like when the stock market goes down, there's still people that's making money. People that know how to option trade, they're still making money. But you got those that'll be trying to look to spend money. But the smart guys, the men with money, are incognito. They look basic. They look normal. But society, television teaches you that, well, if you don't see this guy driving XYZ, or you don't see this guy driving this Jaguar, you don't see this guy driving this, or you don't see this guy driving that, then he doesn't have any money. So women walk around with a perception that, oh man, now this guy doesn't, if he's not driving this, he don't have money. Let me tell you something, fellas. One of the biggest and best things that you can do for your life is get yourself in a good financial, stable situation. Forget what everybody says, forget what everybody thinks of you, and start focusing on you. Because at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself. Whether those friends that are in your circle are there because of maybe what you got or what you flaunt with, or that woman is with you because of what you got or what you flaunt with, if they leave, you still have to take care of yourself. And you have to create bigger rocks in your life instead of focusing on smaller rocks and superficial systems in your life. You got to focus on building yourself, your financial stability. It will give, let me tell you something, when you are financially stable, it gives you a different type of confidence. It's not even like an arrogance, it's a confidence. Like, you ever heard someone say, like, look at the way that dude's walking, he look like he got money, and he could be wearing a basic outfit. It's because when you are financially stable, it creates a confidence, and it creates a real confidence. Not some phony confidence, not some make believe confidence. It creates a real confidence. Fellas, if you are in 2026 and you don't even at least have $10,000 saved up, you need to get to work. And we're going to talk about that in another video, but you need to get to work. But men that have money are incognito. They look like your average guy. And it's so funny because all of these women, all you hear on social media is how women want to be with guys making $100,000, $300,000. And these are the top 10% income threshold is going up every year. So even if you're in the top 10%, that threshold is going up every year. Every single year it goes up. So you might be making 100,000, that threshold goes up to 110, you're no longer there. But that percentile is going up. But there will always be, whether that percentile goes up, this is the funny part, there will always be a small percentage of men that will make that. Even if even if the top goes up to 200,000, there will always be a small select men that will make $100,000 a year. Doesn't matter what race they are. Doesn't matter. But like I said, a lot of men that have money, even friends in my circle that are millionaires, friends of mine that make six figures, they dress normal, they look normal, nothing looks special about them, and you would never know. I got a buddy that makes over 150K, you would never know it. He doesn't even have a car, but you would never know it. See, people are so caught up on what they see on TV. But see, you got to actually get around some of these guys and you will find out that they're not all flexing. So I hope you all learned something from this video. I hope you took some notes, because I can promise you, if you start getting in circles, you'll start finding out that this is very true. Besides what you see on YouTube, which is filled with posers, which is filled with people that if they wasn't on YouTube, they wouldn't even be doing that well. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. This is Rebuilding Masculinity, where we are creating change.